Welcome back, basketball fans, to another massive, absolutely groundbreaking deep dive here on the channel. Today, we are unpacking a series of shockwaves that are currently vibrating through the very core of Philippine basketball, stretching all the way across the Pacific to the United States, and reverberating through the arenas of Japan. If you thought the saga of Kai Sotto had already reached its peak, I need you to sit down, lock in, and prepare yourselves, because the 2026 chapter of the Kai's journey is shaping up to be the most critical, complex, and high-stakes era of his entire career. We are talking about a monumental crossroads that could redefine not just one young man's NBA dreams, but the entire trajectory of the Gilas Pilipinas national team. Right now, the headlines are blazing, and the rumors have finally solidified into confirmed, hard-hitting facts. The breaking news that we are diving into today revolves around four colossal pillars of information that have just dropped. First, we have confirmed reports that four United States NCAA D1 teams have officially tabled offers for Kai Sotto, presenting a completely unexpected and highly lucrative backdoor to the NBA. Second, simultaneously, a massive bidding war has erupted in the Japanese B.League, with three top-tier organizations doing absolutely everything in their power and opening up their checkbooks to secure the 7'3" phenom. Third, amidst all this international contract drama, the absolute best news for the motherland has been verified. Kai Sotto is officially confirmed to play for Gilas Pilipinas in the upcoming pivotal windows, shutting down weeks of intense speculation regarding his availability and his health. And finally, the fourth pillar, the one that has every Filipino basketball fanatic dreaming with their eyes wide open. The Dream Tandem continues. Gilas Pilipinas is locking in a terrifyingly solid, absolutely gargantuan frontline for the 2026 Asian Games in Nagoya, Japan. To truly grasp the magnitude of what is happening right now, we have to understand the context of the modern basketball landscape and where Kai Sotto currently stands within it. We are looking at a 23-year-old center, standing 7'3", weighing in at 232 pounds, who has already lived three distinct professional basketball lifetimes before most players even graduate college. He has carried the unmatched, suffocating weight of an entire nation's NBA aspirations on his shoulders since he was a teenager dominating the UAAP Juniors division. We watched him take the unprecedented leap to the NBA G.League Ignite program, a move that was supposed to be a direct flight to the NBA draft, only to see it derailed by the global pandemic and incredibly complex logistical and management issues. We watched him pivot to the physical, grueling battlegrounds of the Australian National Basketball League with the Adelaide 36ers, fighting for minutes, fighting for respect, and fighting to prove that his slender frame could withstand professional grown men. And most recently, we have seen him take his talents to the Japanese B.League, finding a rhythm with the Hiroshima Dragonflies, the Yokohama B Corsairs, and now the Koshigaya Alphas, showcasing undeniable growth, a maturing basketball IQ, and a developing offensive arsenal. But the road has not been easy. A devastating ACL injury sidelined him for a brutal year, testing his mental fortitude and throwing his entire timeline into jeopardy. Questions swirled. Would he retain his mobility? Would he ever regain that fluid athleticism that made him such a tantalizing prospect? The answer, as we have seen in his recent return to the court in Japan, is a resounding yes. He is currently averaging a double-double, putting up over 11 points and 9 rebounds a game for Koshigaya, silencing the doubters and proving that the rehab process was handled with absolute elite precision. And that brings us to the absolute explosion of news that dropped this week. The fact that four U.S. NCAA teams have laid offers on the table for Kai Sotto is a massive paradigm shift. For years, the traditional rule was that once you turn professional, which Kai did by signing with Ignite, the NBL, and the B-League, your amateur status was gone forever. The NCAA door was nailed shut. But the rules of collegiate athletics have undergone a radical, seismic transformation over the past 2 years. The landscape of name, image, and likeness, combined with the NCAA relaxing its rigid amateurism rules regarding players who haven't signed an actual NBA contract, has created a miraculous loophole. We are seeing former G-League players and European professionals flocking back to the American college system. Guys like James Nagy, Thierry Darla, and London Johnson are proving that the college route is once again a viable, highly visible launching pad to the NBA. For Kai Sotto, this is the ultimate redemption opportunity. The NBA Summer League is one pathway, a brief, chaotic window in July where you have to fight for touches against guards fighting for their own survival. But a full season in a top-tier NCAA D1 program? That offers something entirely different. It offers sustained, high-level exposure on national American television. It offers the chance to be coached by legendary collegiate tacticians who specialize in developing big men. It offers a structured environment where he can add the necessary muscle mass in world-class strength and conditioning facilities, and most importantly, it allows NBA scouts to evaluate him against the absolute best young talent in the world, night in and night out, in high-pressure, structured offensive systems. Imagine Kai Sotto, a 7'3" international veteran, stepping onto a college campus. He wouldn't be a raw freshman. He would be a seasoned professional bringing a wealth of FIBA and international club experience to the collegiate game. The offers from these four unnamed, but reportedly highly prestigious programs, represent a massive validation of his undeniable potential. It proves that despite going undrafted in 2022, despite the injuries, and despite the unconventional career path, American basketball evaluators still see an NBA-caliber talent. They see the soft touch around the rim, the elite passing vision for a big man, the growing confidence in his perimeter shot, and the sheer, unteachable rim-protecting presence that comes with his wingspan. The decision he has to make here is monumental. Does he take the collegiate route, immersing himself in the madness of March, aiming for the 2027 NBA draft with a totally refreshed scouting report? It is a tantalizing prospect that has completely flipped the script on his career narrative. But, as with everything in the world of global basketball, it is never just a one-sided equation. The Japanese B.League is not going to let one of their most popular, high-performing Asian imports walk away without an absolute dogfight. The second major piece of our puzzle today is the confirmed bidding war involving three major B.League franchises. Kai has proven that he is not just a marketing gimmick in Japan. He is a legitimate, difference-making force on the floor. His current team, the Koshigaya Alphas, have seen firsthand the impact he brings on both ends of the floor. His ability to anchor a defense, alter shots in the paint, and serve as a reliable pick-and-roll partner has made him an invaluable asset. The B.League has aggressively positioned itself as one of the premier basketball leagues outside of the NBA, and they have the financial muscle to prove it. The offers coming Kai's way from Japan are rumored to be absolutely staggering, easily making him one of the highest-paid Asian quota players in the history of the league. These teams are offering financial security, incredible living conditions, a highly competitive brand of basketball, and a schedule that allows him to remain relatively close to home. For a 23-year-old coming off a major injury, the guarantee of a massive, multi-year, highly lucrative contract in a league where he is already comfortable and thriving is incredibly enticing. This creates the ultimate tug-of-war for Kai Sotto and his management team, East-West. On one side, you have the romance, the prestige, and the ultimate dream of the NBA, accessible through the grueling, highly scrutinized crucible of the US NCAA. It is a gamble, a bet on himself that he can dominate college kids and force NBA general managers to call his name. On the other side, you have the B.League, offering immense wealth, professional stability, and a guaranteed starring role in a rapidly growing league. It is the classic battle between chasing the ultimate, elusive dream versus securing a highly successful, incredibly comfortable reality. And while this massive club-level tug-of-war is happening, there is a third dimension to this story that is perhaps the most emotionally resonant for everyone watching. The national flag. The commitment to Gilas Pilipinas. Over the past few weeks, panic began to set in among the Filipino fanbase. Reports circulated that the Koshigaya Alphas were hesitant to release Kai for the upcoming FIBA windows, wanting to protect their newly recovered investment. There were whispers that Kai's management wanted to preserve his health for potential NBA workouts. The anxiety was palpable, because a Gilas Pilipinas squad without Kai Sotto is a fundamentally different team, especially when facing massive, physically imposing opponents like New Zealand and Australia. But today, we can lay those fears to rest. The confirmation is in, and it is absolute. Kai Sotto will play for Gilas. In Gilas, Lalaro. The behind-the-scenes drama was intense. We learned that the Koshigaya Alphas were actually completely supportive of Kai's national team duties, issuing statements that they were not standing in his way. The friction, it seemed, was stemming from protective measures from his own management. But ultimately, Kai's own desire to wear the colors of the Philippines, a dedication he has shown by amassing 50 national team caps by the age of 23, won out. This is a massive victory for the Samahang Basketball-ing Pilipinas, for head coach Tim Cone, and for the entire country. SBP President Ricky Vargas hit the nail on the head when he said, "It was never about the money with Kai." He understands the culture that Coach Tim Cone is building, a culture of sacrifice, of unity, where playing for the national team is the highest honor, not a financial transaction. Having Kai available changes everything for the Gilas' defensive schemes. His rim protection is the bedrock upon which Tim Cohn's aggressive perimeter defense is built. When you have a 7'3" anchor erasing mistakes at the basket, your guards can pressure the ball handler, jump passing lanes, and play with a level of freedom that simply isn't possible otherwise. Which brings us to the grand finale of this massive update, the piece of news that points directly toward the future and sets the stage for what could be the golden era of modern Philippine basketball. The Dream Tandem continues, and Gilas Pilipinas is looking terrifyingly solid for the 2026 Asian Games. When we talk about the Dream Tandem, we are talking about a front-court rotation that has the potential to absolutely dominate the Asian region. We are talking about pairing the youthful, towering athleticism and rim protection of Kai Sotto with the unmatched, immovable, multi-time MVP dominance of Junmar Fajardo. Or perhaps we are talking about pairing Kai with the incredible defensive versatility and high-flying energy of AJ Edu, or the newly committed, highly skilled Quinton Milora-Brown. Whoever Tim Cohn chooses to put on the floor next to Kai, the fact remains that Gilas will have a size advantage against almost anyone they face. The 2026 Asian Games in Nagoya carry an immense amount of weight. Gilas Pilipinas shocked the world and brought unbelievable joy to the nation by capturing the gold medal at the Asian Games in Hangzhou, breaking a decades-long drought. The pressure to defend that gold, to prove that it wasn't a fluke, but the beginning of a dynasty, is astronomical. And building that defense starts with a healthy, committed Kai Sotto. Think about the tactical nightmare this presents for opposing coaches. If you double-team Junmar Fajardo in the post, you leave Kai Sotto open for the mid-range jumper or the lob. If you try to attack the rim, you are met by a wall of high-level rim protectors. The synergy between the veterans and the young core is beginning to peak at the exact right moment. The 2026 Asian Games will not just be a tournament. It will be a statement to the world that Philippine basketball has permanently elevated its status. Let's take a step back and really analyze what this NCAA opportunity means in the grand scheme of Kai's development. If he chooses the college route, he is essentially hitting the reset button on his draft narrative. The NBA is an incredibly fickle league, highly driven by recency bias and specific player archetypes. When Kai first entered the draft in 2022, the league was hyper-focused on switchable, perimeter-oriented big men. While that is still valued, we are also seeing a massive resurgence in the value of true size, elite rim protection, and high IQ passing hubs out of the post. Think Nikola Jokic, think Victor Wembanyama. The league is realizing that you simply cannot teach 7'3", and you certainly cannot teach the soft touch and passing vision that Kai inherently possesses. If Kai steps into an NCAA environment, say a program like a Duke, a Baylor, or a Gonzaga, programs known for maximizing big men, he gets a crash course in high-level North American tactical basketball. He will be subjected to rigorous, state-of-the-art strength and conditioning programs designed specifically to add functional basketball mass without sacrificing his mobility. He will learn to defend the pick-and-roll against explosive, NBA-bound guards. He will learn to operate in offensive sets that prioritize spacing, reading the defense, and making split-second decisions. Moreover, the NCAA provides a stage unlike any other. Every single game is a nationally televised audition. The narrative machine of American college basketball is incredibly powerful. A string of dominant performances, a few viral blocked shots, a deep run in the NCAA tournament, and suddenly, Kai Sotto is no longer the undrafted prospect from 2022. He is the seasoned, highly skilled international mystery man who is taking college basketball by storm. It is a rebranding opportunity of epic proportions. It allows NBA scouts to see him not in the context of the Australian NBL or the Japanese B.League, which, while highly competitive, are sometimes difficult to translate perfectly to the NBA game. It allows them to see him competing directly against the players who will be in the draft alongside him. However, the risks of the NCAA route are also profound. College basketball is incredibly physical, often chaotic, and highly guard-centric. If he joins a program that doesn't utilize him properly, if he gets stuck in a system that only asks him to set screens and grab rebounds, his draft stock could remain stagnant or even drop. Furthermore, he would be leaving millions of dollars on the table from the B.League. He would be trading guaranteed generational wealth for a highly publicized tryout. It requires an immense amount of self-belief, a willingness to bet absolutely everything on his own potential. Now, let's pivot and deeply analyze the B.League scenario. The Japanese league is currently in a massive growth phase. They are pouring money into infrastructure, coaching, and international talent. The B-League is aggressively trying to become the second-best league in the world, and retaining a player like Kai Sotto is a massive part of that strategy. For Kai, staying in Japan offers immense benefits beyond just the incredible financial compensation. Firstly, the style of play in Japan has been highly beneficial for his development. The B-League features a lot of structure, high-level shooting, and requires big men to be mobile and intelligent. It is less about brute force and more about timing, positioning, and skill. During his time with Koshigaya, Yokohama, and Hiroshima, we have seen his game mature significantly. His screening angles have improved, his roll gravity is more pronounced, and his confidence in taking the perimeter shot when left open is growing. Secondly, Japan offers a level of stability that is crucial for a player coming off a major ACL injury. He knows the medical staff, he knows the travel schedule, and he is deeply comfortable with the culture. The B-League teams treat him like an absolute superstar, providing an environment where he can focus entirely on refining his game without the chaotic pressure cooker of the American media landscape. If his ultimate goal is simply to be the best basketball player he can be, while securing his family's future for generations, the B-League is a remarkably attractive, incredibly smart choice. It is not giving up on a dream, it is simply choosing a different, highly successful reality. But how does all of this tie back into the Gilas Pilipinas national team? This is where the story gets truly incredible. Regardless of whether Kai chooses the NCAA or stays in the B-League, his commitment to the national team has been explicitly reaffirmed. The fact that he is willing to navigate the incredibly complex schedules of either college basketball or professional overseas leagues to suit up for his country speaks volumes about his character and his priorities. Let's really break down what a fully engaged, healthy Kai Sotto means for Gilas Pilipinas as we look toward the 2026 Asian Games and the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. Coach Tim Cohn has implemented a system that demands intelligence, defensive connectivity, and unselfishness. It is the triangle offense principles modernized for the international game. In this system, the center is not just a low-post bruiser. The center is a primary decision-maker. When Kai receives the ball at the high post or the elbow, he immediately becomes a massive threat. He has the height to see over the defense, the vision to find cutters diving to the basket, and the shooting touch to force the opposing center to step out and guard him. This pulls the rim protector away from the basket, opening up driving lanes for dynamic guards like Dwight Ramos, Scottie Thompson, and Chris Newsom. Defensively, under Tim Cohn's philosophy, the scheme relies heavily on funneling drivers toward a rim protector. Kai's ability to contest shots without fouling, a skill he has vastly improved upon in the B-League, is the linchpin of this entire defensive strategy. And then, we have to talk about the sheer intimidation factor of the Dream Tandem. When Gilas rolls out a frontcourt featuring Kai Sotto alongside Junmar Fajardo, it presents a physical problem that very few teams in Asia can solve. Junmar is an absolute immovable object on the low block. He commands double teams through sheer force and footwork. If you double Junmar, you are leaving a 7'3" Kai Sotto alone on the perimeter or diving to the rim. It is a pick-your-poison scenario for the defense. Add to this mix the energy and defensive versatility of A.J. Edu, who proved in the previous World Cup that he can lock down some of the best big men on the planet, and the addition of Quinton Milora-Brown, who brings a rugged, American-trained physicality to the paint. The Gilas Pilipinas frontline is transforming from a historical weakness into an absolute, overwhelming strength. Looking ahead to the 2026 Asian Games, the landscape of Asian basketball is incredibly competitive. Japan, playing on their home soil in Nagoya, will be incredibly motivated and will likely field their absolute best roster, potentially including NBA talents like Rui Hachimura and Yuta Watanabe. China is constantly retooling and possesses immense size. South Korea and Lebanon are always dangerous, highly skilled, and tactically sound. To defend the gold medal, Gilas Pilipinas cannot rely on the magic of the past. They have to execute at a completely elite level. The 2026 Asian Games will be the ultimate testing ground for this new iteration of the national team. It will be the culmination of years of development, heartbreak, rebuilding, and triumph. And standing right at the center of it all, carrying the hopes of a basketball-crazed archipelago, will be Kai Sotto. The narrative arc of Kai Sotto is one of the most fascinating stories in global sports today. From the impossibly high expectations placed upon him as a teenager, through the tumultuous Ignite experiment, the character-building days in Australia, the devastating injury, and now, to this incredible point of leverage where he holds offers from major U.S. colleges and massive professional contracts in Japan. He has weathered the storm. He has survived the immense pressure that would have broken a lesser athlete. As observers, as fans, as analysts of the game, we are witnessing a young man taking control of his destiny. The coming weeks will be absolutely critical. The decision between the NCAA and the B.League is not just a career choice, it is a philosophy choice. It is a decision about what kind of path he wants to walk. If he takes the NCAA offer, we will be buckling up for a wild ride through American college basketball, watching him fight for draft positioning on the most visible amateur stage in the world. We will be tracking his stats, analyzing his fit in the college system, and debating his mock draft placement all over again. It will be a thrilling, anxiety-inducing journey. If he signs a massive extension in the B.League, we will watch him continue to build an incredible professional legacy in Asia, cementing himself as a dominant force, amassing wealth, and ensuring that he is always in peak condition to represent the Philippines on the international stage. But the most important takeaway from today's massive news drop is this: Kai Sotto is back. The knee is healthy, the game is expanding, the international respect is undeniable, and his heart is fully committed to Gilas Pilipinas. The Dream Tandem is alive and well, and the road to the 2026 Asian Games in Nagoya just got a whole lot more exciting. We are looking at a Gilas Pilipinas squad that is no longer just hoping for a miracle. They are building a machine. A machine powered by the tactical genius of Tim Cohn, the veteran leadership of the PBA mainstays, and the towering, undeniable, world-class potential of Kai Sotto. So, what do you guys think? I want you to head down to the comments section right now because I know you have strong opinions on this. If you are Kai Sotto, if you are sitting at that table with those contracts in front of you, what do? Do you take the massive financial security and the comfortable, highly successful environment of the Japanese B.League? Or do you roll the dice, bet on yourself, and take one of those 4 NCAA Division I offers for one last massive push toward the NBA draft? And how excited are you for the 2026 Asian Games? Can the Dream Tandem of Kai Sotto and Junmar Fajardo, backed up by guys like AJ Edu and QMB, lead Gilas to back-to-back gold medals? Let me know your detailed thoughts, your predictions, and your tactical breakdowns in the comments below. I read every single one of them. If you appreciate this level of deep dive, comprehensive, no stone unturned basketball analysis, make sure you smash that like button. It tells the algorithm that you want more high-quality, long-form sports content, and it helps the channel grow immensely. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update, because as we all know, the world of Philippine basketball never sleeps, and the Kai Sotto saga is developing by the minute. Thank you so much for tuning in, for bringing your passion, and for supporting the channel. We will be tracking this story closely, and the moment a decision is finalized, you know exactly where to find the absolute best breakdown on the internet. Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep supporting Gilas, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.